Hello and welcome to another video from our Safety Training in Canada playlist. If you're unfamiliar with our content and are a first-time watcher, my name is Andre. I work for a company called eSafety First Canada. Our company is a leading solution in the safety training industry with more than 25,000 companies working with us at the point I'm recording this video. In this playlist, we delve into various safety training topics to answer the most frequent questions surrounding that topic. As always, we'll start with a structure, but if you're interested only in a specific topic, you can freely use our timestamp and navigate towards your answer. As a side note, please note that all the information mentioned here pertains to Canadian legislation and will not apply to other countries. Also, legislation updates frequently, so some parts of the content may change over time. Okay, with that out of the way, let's begin. In today's video, we'll be discussing WHMIS, define its purpose and key components, including hazardous product classification, labels, safety data sheets, and worker education and training. We'll explore the WHMIS legislation, both federal and provincial or territorial, and understand their roles in ensuring workplace safety. Finally, we'll talk about WHMIS training, who needs it, whether it can be done online, and how to obtain a WHMIS certificate. Let's get started. WHMIS stands for the Workplace Hazardous Materials Information System. It can be defined as Canada's national hazard communication standard. It deals specifically with hazardous materials used in the workplace, which are products that can pose various risks, including fire, explosions, or health problems. WHMIS is all about optimizing information, policies, and processes to ensure the safe handling of these materials. WHMIS key components are 1. Hazardous products classification. Hazardous products are classified into different categories based on their potential hazards. These classifications help users understand the dangers associated with each product. 2. Labels. WHMIS labels are crucial for identifying the major hazards of a product and providing basic safety precautions. There are supplier labels and workplace labels. 3. Safety data sheets. SDSs, safety data sheets, provide detailed information about a product's hazards, safe use, symptoms of exposure, and emergency procedures. 4. Worker education and training. Workers must be educated and trained about WHMIS to understand the hazards of materials they work with or are exposed to. Now, as you can see on your screen, this section has a lot of information unpacked. So, just like with all our videos in this safety training playlist, feel free to check out the full article linked in the blog description for more information on this topic. Moving on, our next point of focus is the federal and provincial legislation. WHMIS is implemented through federal, provincial, and territorial legislation and regulations. Federal legislation requires suppliers to classify hazardous products and provide safety information. Provincial and territorial legislation focuses on employers obtaining safety information and training workers. In 2015, WHMIS was modified to incorporate the Globally Harmonized System of Classification and Labeling of Chemicals, GHS. This update, known as WHMIS 2015, brought significant changes, including more comprehensive hazard classification criteria and new requirements for labels and safety data sheets. What is GHS? GHS stands for the Globally Harmonized System of Classification and Labeling of Chemicals. The GHS is a system that defines and classifies the hazards of chemical products and communicates health and safety information on labels and material safety data sheets. Many chemical products cross international borders every day. A global system keeps us on the same page by ensuring we all understand the chemicals and hazardous materials similarly. The key changes from WHMIS 1988 to WHMIS 2015 are more comprehensive hazard classification criteria, new hazard classes, new requirements for supplier labels, new standardized 16-section safety data sheet SDS format. Physical hazard criteria are now consistent with the Transportation of Dangerous Goods (TDG) regulations. We'll now take a closer look at WHMIS training in Canada. In Canada, a WHMIS product must be in place if a workplace uses hazardous products. Workers must be educated and trained to understand the hazards and work safely with hazardous products. In Canada, businesses that work with hazardous materials are required by law to ensure a safe work environment for their employees. As such, they're also responsible for providing and implementing adequate WHMIS training. Employees must participate in the training program and apply the strategies they've learned to maintain their safety in the workplace. Furthermore, many potential employees in specific industries independently acquire and complete the program to ensure better hiring odds. WHMIS training is legally required for everyone in Canada who works with or may encounter hazardous materials. Hazardous materials are more likely to be present in some industries than others. These include agriculture and food, automotive and manufacturing, construction, energy and electricity, logistics, shipping and warehousing, mining, oil and gas, pharmaceuticals and healthcare, seismic, waste management. Moving forward, we arrive at the most frequently asked question: can WHMIS training be done online? To answer this question, we need to explain some basics first. As a general rule of thumb, any training that doesn't involve specific equipment requires only theoretical training and evaluation, making it suitable for both classroom and online formats. Whether you prefer a traditional classroom setup or the flexibility of online learning, the choice is yours. If you're contemplating the effectiveness of online training compared to the traditional classroom experience, rest assured that online courses adhere to the same rigorous standards, ensuring it's recognized and accepted in various contexts. One significant advantage of online training is its convenience and efficiency. You no longer need to worry about physically attending classes, as you can learn from the comfort of your own space and set your schedule. It's a game changer in terms of flexibility. In contrast, traditional classroom training often comes with specific requirements, such as a mandated minimum duration of 8 hours. However, this might only sometimes be necessary for the content being covered. Online training allows for a more efficient approach, where a well-designed 2-hour course can effectively cover all the required material. Another compelling reason to consider online training is its cost effectiveness, especially for employers. Organizing in-person classroom sessions can be expensive, with costs like venue rentals, materials, and instructor fees. Online training eliminates many overheads, making it a more budget-friendly option. However, it's essential to remember that the responsibility for selecting the appropriate level of training for your workplace lies with your employer. Be sure to check with them to ensure they accept online training for this purpose. Is there a free WHMIS training? The short answer is no, not really. The long answer is WHMIS courses can be developed either by the employer themselves, in which case they can be provided to you for free but have a cost of development for the employer. Alternatively, they can be developed by a private company such as ours. When a private company develops such a program, many costs are associated with the process: human resources, programs licenses, host and servers, content research, voiceovers, software development, marketing, learning machine system development, etc. Therefore, it cannot be free. Depending on the website that sells it, its commitment to user experience, and its user panel investments, developing a WHMIS course will cost upwards of $20,000. Websites that claim to offer free WHMIS training usually do so at the expense of users' privacy or security, as they have to recover their investment somehow. Such websites may offer you the content for free, but charge you for the certificate or unlocking the testing section. In most cases, a price that is 2 or 3 times higher than what other private companies are selling the program for, because at that point, you've already invested time in completing the program with them. Stay away from such websites, because when you're not paying for the product, you are the product. Wrapping things up with a commonly asked question: how long is the WHMIS certificate valid for? To obtain a WHMIS certificate, individuals must learn about hazardous materials classification, identification, handling, and safety measures. The certificate's validity varies by province, company size, and formation type. Some provinces require you to renew your training only when changing employers. In others, you may be required to renew it annually. You should always compare this information with your provincial legislation, as there is yet to be a definitive answer which applies to everyone. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully, I was able to answer some questions for our viewers today. Feel free to use the comment section if you have more questions about this topic. And, as mentioned, you'll find links in our video description to the written article, which is more in-depth than the video content. If you're interested in our safety training solutions, you can freely visit esafetyfirst.com and read more about what we do. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so that way you have it bookmarked on your YouTube account and you can quickly return to it in case you need information on this topic or other topics, or to be informed about updates to our videos or legislation changes.